When I type things in, people don't understand. Turn that camera on, ugly, and tell your lies. Don't type your lies, tell them.
Treat me nice. Not just because the camera's on, not just because people are watching, but because he genuinely felt like that. Not because I was paying his bills, not because I was taking care of his kids.
Breathe in, because what you're about to hear makes every rap breakup, boxing scandal, and reality TV meltdown look like a peaceful spa commercial. I'm talking about a plot twist so chaotic, so unexpected, so soap opera on steroids, even Zeus himself would drop his lightning bolt and scream, "Run it back!" Because according to the digital streets, and you know they never sleep, Remy Ma has reportedly broken down after Papoose dropped a jaw-shattering proposal. Not to her, but to Claressa Shields. Yes, the Claressa Gould Shields. The undefeated powerhouse. The walking championship belt. The woman who could punch a rumor into retirement. The moment the whispers started, the internet didn't just react, it short-circuited. Screens froze. Group chats exploded. People blinked twice, reset their Wi-Fi, and still couldn't believe the headline staring them in the face. Papoose, hip-hop's long-lost poster child for loyalty, allegedly switching gears and proposing to a champion boxer. That's not drama. That's Greek mythology with a New York accent. And Remy. Oh, the timeline swears she broke down. Not cried. Not teared up, broke down. As in, emotional meltdown levels that make the Kardashians look like stable librarians. This isn't tea. This is a volcanic eruption in slow motion. Buckle up, because this scandal is just getting warmed up. The moment the rumor dropped, the internet didn't just make noise, it detonated. One blurry screenshot claiming Papoose had proposed something serious to Claressa Shields spread like gasoline on gossip fire. People weren't breathing, they were wheezing. How could the man who built his entire reputation on loyalty suddenly be trending for switching lanes like he was in Fast and Furious 12? And worse, allegedly proposing to a woman who could bench press half the rap industry without breaking a sweat. The shock was enough to reboot the entire timeline. Within minutes, every blog and gossip page began regurgitating the story with the enthusiasm of a reporter who hadn't slept in days and had finally found their Super Bowl. Some said the proposal happened backstage at an event. Others claimed it happened during a private moment after a photo shoot. A select few insisted it was a professional proposal, whatever that even means. The point was simple. The rumor had landed, and the digital world treated it like the plot twist of the decade. Remy Ma's name began trending instantly. Not for music, not for acting, not for a new business venture, but for allegedly breaking down the moment she heard the news. People described her emotional reaction as though they had front row seats. Some accounts claimed she was devastated. Others described her pacing, crying, calling friends, details so specific they had to be fake, yet the internet embraced them like gospel. The narrative wrote itself before anyone questioned whether it had a base in reality. As the rumor grew, the background began resurfacing. People dove into Remy and Papoose's past, analyzing every interview, every anniversary post, every moment of public affection. Their marriage had always been treated like a symbol of loyalty in hip-hop, a love story with bulletproof armor. So the possibility of Papoose shifting his attention toward Claressa was not just scandalous, it was sacrilegious. The internet reacted like someone threw a match into a fireworks warehouse. Then came the leak that turned everything nuclear. A so-called insider claimed the proposal wasn't romantic, it was life-changing. Nobody knew what that meant, but the vagueness made it 10 times worse. Screenshots circled claiming Papoose had been working closely with Claressa on a personal project, whatever that implied. A few wild accounts suggested the project was a documentary. Others insisted it was a business collaboration. But the loudest voices, of course, assumed it was something far deeper. As always, social media transformed into a crime scene of emotional detectives. People dug up old photos of Papoose and Claressa standing near each other at events, using pixelated images as proof of hidden chemistry. One picture of them laughing became the centerpiece of a detective thread longer than Remy's entire discography. Folks zoomed in, overanalyzed body language, and argued like they were experts in human behavior despite having questionable judgment in their own relationships. The narrative spiraled even harder when someone posted a cryptic message implying that the proposal wasn't a spur-of-the-moment decision. They suggested Papoose had been planning it. That line alone was enough to send Remy's fanbase into fight mode. They swore up and down that he would never betray her. Meanwhile, trolls and rival fan groups had a field day, claiming Remy's tough persona might have pushed him away. The discourse was messy, exaggerated, and dramatic, exactly what the internet thrives on. Remy's silence added gasoline to the situation. Normally, she claps back within minutes, but this time, nothing. No posts, no responses, not even a cryptic emoji. Her silence wasn't peaceful. It was thunderous. Fans interpreted it as heartbreak. Critics interpreted it as guilt. And the rest of the timeline took it as confirmation that the rumor had weight. In reality, she might have just been living her life, but online narratives don't wait for facts. They spread without stretching. Meanwhile, Claressa Shields unintentionally intensified the drama by posting a gym video around the same time the rumor spread. It had nothing to do with Papoose. No references, no hints. Just her lifting weights like the powerhouse she is. But the internet didn't care. They turned it into symbolism, claiming she was showing Remy she could carry the relationship. The jokes were savage. The captions were ruthless. And the main creators worked overtime turning the footage into digital chaos. The rumor of Remy breaking down became the central storyline. People debated whether she cried, screamed, or went silent. Some said she confronted Papoose. Others swore she called Claressa demanding answers. The wildest accounts insisted she threw something with no proof, no footage, nothing but pure imagination. But the more dramatic the rumor, the faster it spread. People weren't interested in accuracy. They were addicted to the entertainment. Then came the post claiming Remy had told friends she felt blindsided. That one word shook the internet like an earthquake. Blindsided. Suddenly, everyone acted like they knew the inner workings of her marriage. Folks pulled up every interview where she praised Papoose for his loyalty, using her own words to fuel the heartbreak narrative. Clips of them hugging resurfaced with captions like "Not Papoose betraying the queen." Comment sections turned into emotional support groups for fans mourning a relationship that wasn't confirmed. Broken. As more questionable sources emerged, the rumor gained layers. Some claimed Papoose and Claressa had been discussing a major project for months. Others claimed Remy thought Claressa overstepped. And a few conspiracy-driven accounts suggested this was karma for past cheating rumors between Remy and her battle rap collaborator. The internet didn't care that these connections were flimsy. They only cared that the drama felt cinematic. The tension rose even higher when a post alleged that Claressa had been caught off guard by the backlash. It implied she had no idea the rumor would explode. That angle softened the narrative for some people, while others accused her of playing innocent. Boxer fans clashed with Remy fans, each defending their queen with the energy of armies preparing for battle. It became a culture clash of rap loyalty versus boxing supremacy. The more people speculated, the more the story mutated. What started as a vague rumor had evolved into a full-blown scandal with multiple theories, subplots, and fan-made timelines. The fact that no one involved had said a single word didn't matter. The internet had taken the wheel, slammed the gas pedal, and driven the narrative straight into chaos. But the wildest part was how believable it felt. Not because it made sense, it didn't, but because the internet loves stories where loyal partners crack, powerful women collide, and icons find themselves in emotional freefall. This wasn't just drama. It was mythology. A modern Greek epic written in memes, tweets, and unhinged speculation. Yet beneath all the exaggeration, one thing remained true. The silence from Remy, Papoose, and Claressa only made everything louder. Every hour without a statement was treated like another hint. Every photo they didn't post became more suspicious. And every rumor fed the next rumor until the scandal felt too big to escape. One thing was clear: this wasn't ending quietly. The next wave of reactions, twists, and digital explosions was already brewing, waiting to hit the timeline like a wrecking ball dipped in gasoline and wrapped in glitter. And the internet, it was ready. Hunger in its eyes, screenshots in its hands, because once a scandal starts, especially one involving Remy Ma, Papoose, and Claressa Shields, the chaos doesn't slow down, it multiplies. The moment chaos settled for half a second, the internet launched itself straight into the next level of madness. Because if there's one thing social media refuses to do, it's mind its business. Suddenly every verified account, half-verified account, and completely delusional fan page had something to say about the alleged Papoose-Claressa proposal. And not just opinions, full TED Talks delivered with misplaced confidence and dramatic pauses. This scandal didn't evolve. It mutated into a creature with its own heartbeat, its own storyline, and its own undefeated record of chaos. Celebrities started reacting as if they were contractually obligated to join the circus. Rappers tweeted vague quotes about loyalty. Reality stars dropped shady Instagram stories about choosing real love over fake energy. Even washed-up influencers who hadn't trended since Vine resurfaced like fossils, ready to make themselves relevant again. Everyone used Remy's alleged breakdown as an excuse to post something cryptic, hoping the algorithm would adopt them like long-lost children. And then came the memes. Oh, the memes. The internet turned the rumor into a comedy special with no intermission. One clip of Claressa punching a heavy bag became Claressa preparing to fight off accusations. Another video of Papoose nodding in an interview got labeled Papoose rehearsing the proposal speech. And Remy's old footage from Love and Hip Hop resurfaced with captions so ruthless even professional comedians couldn't compete. The jokes came so fast people barely had time to blink before another one went viral. But Remy's silence continued to haunt the narrative. Every hour she didn't respond felt like a new episode dropping. Twitter detectives analyzed timestamps on her last post like it was classified intel. Fans speculated she was plotting a comeback speech. Others assumed she was crying in a dimly lit hallway while a sad violin played in the background. The internet didn't know what she was doing. But that didn't stop them from writing entire emotional fanfiction about it. Claressa, completely unaware of the digital frenzy, posted a simple selfie, and the internet took that as a declaration of war. Comment sections exploded with theories, accusations, compliments, hate, love, confusion, and emojis that didn't match the energy at all. Some fans begged her to stay strong, others demanded she explain herself, a few genuinely believed she had accepted a proposal, even though not a single shred of evidence existed. That's how powerful the rumor had become. It overpowered logic, science, and basic reading comprehension. A new twist hit when a random gossip page claimed Claressa's team had been contacted for a statement. They didn't name the team. They didn't provide proof. They didn't even spell Claressa's name correctly. But none of that mattered. Screenshots spread like wildfire, and people acted like the United Nations had just released an official emergency document. Suddenly, everyone treated Claressa like she was hiding secrets the world couldn't handle. Meanwhile, Papoose's old interviews about loyalty resurfaced. Fans dug them up like ancient scrolls, waving them around as evidence that he would never betray Remy. Entire threads were dedicated to analyzing his facial expressions, mannerisms, and micro-smiles from 10 years ago. The internet acted like they were forensic experts capable of detecting lies from pixels. And instead of laughing at the absurdity, people doubled down on their interpretations like they were solving a major political scandal. Then came the most hilarious twist. A fan claimed that Papoose accidentally liked a photo of Claressa. It was unverified. It could have been Photoshop. It could have been a glitch. But the second the rumor dropped, the internet lost its collective mind. People treated the alleged like as a confession. Think pieces erupted claiming the double tap was symbolic. Theories spread saying it was subliminal messaging. The fact that it wasn't even confirmed didn't matter. Social media had already placed it on a digital pedestal. Within this chaos, the timeline split into factions. The Team Remy side defended her with the intensity of gladiators. The Team Claressa side framed her as an innocent champion dragged into a ridiculous rumor. And then there were the third group, the spectators, who openly admitted they just wanted the drama to continue forever because it was more entertaining than anything currently streaming. The rumor evolved again when a blurry clip surfaced showing Papoose hugging Claressa at an event months ago. It wasn't romantic. It wasn't intimate. It was literally just a friendly hug between two public figures. But the internet treated it like a smoking gun. People zoomed in on their hands. People slowed down the footage. People added dramatic music to make it feel scandalous. It was so over the top that even the hug itself looked confused. Blog pages began posting exclusive insider updates that were about as trustworthy as a horoscope written by a toddler. Some claimed Remy had left their house. Others claimed she confronted him. A few insisted Claressa was blindsided and felt used for clout. These stories contradicted each other so heavily that no timeline could logically exist. But the drama was too delicious for people to step back and question anything. Then came the celebrity reactions. Rappers dropped cryptic bars in their IG captions. Boxes posted jokes about knocking out rumors. Even comedians made skits mocking the entire situation. The scandal wasn't just trending, it became a cultural moment, a meme festival, a digital carnival where every participant had their own version of the truth. People began creating fan edits like it was a breakup playlist. Edits of Papoose and Remy smiling in slow motion. Edits of Claressa training with intense music. Edits of Remy allegedly finding out the news like a telenovela protagonist discovering betrayal. These edits gained millions of views, fueling the narrative as though Hollywood itself had drafted a script. Even Remy's enemies tried jumping in, using the rumor as an opportunity to throw subtle shade. But fans caught it instantly, turning the clapbacks into comedy gold. The internet doesn't miss anything when drama is in the air. Every slight eyebrow raise, every vague lyric, every unrelated tweet, all of it was turned into evidence, fuel, and speculation. The situation moved past rumor. It became entertainment, a digital symphony of chaos conducted by people who didn't know the truth but loved the thrill. It was messy, gilded, hilarious, and totally out of control, the exact recipe for a viral scandal. As the tension escalated, more layers formed. New sources emerged. New screenshots circulated. New theories dropped. The scandal became a living creature with a never-ending appetite for attention. And with everyone waiting for a real statement from Remy, Papoose, or Claressa, the suspense grew thick enough too. Sliced with a championship belt. Nobody knew what was coming next, but everyone was ready to refresh their screens and dive deeper into the madness. Because this story wasn't losing steam. It was just shifting into a higher gear. As the scandal reached its boiling point, the internet didn't calm down, it transformed. This wasn't gossip anymore. It became a digital battleground where perception mattered more than facts. People weren't just reacting to the rumor. They were shaping it, molding it, twisting it into a full-blown epic with heroes, villains, victims, and plot twists on standby. And Remy Ma, whether she wanted the spotlight or not, became the emotional centerpiece of the narrative the internet wouldn't let go. Her silence, once seen as confusion, began evolving into something symbolic. Fans painted her as a wounded queen protecting her peace. Critics said the silence meant guilt. Shenanigans spiraled so far that even random motivational pages turned her quiet into inspirational content. Posting quotes like "sometimes silence is the loudest roar," as though she personally submitted that line between rumors. The internet has a strange way of turning ordinary moments into mythology, and this scandal wasn't just following the pattern, it was upgrading it. Papoose's reputation started shifting too. For years, he'd been praised as hip-hop's loyalty mascot. But now, the timeline treated him like he had betrayed a nation. Random users wrote paragraphs examining whether loyalty is even real. Commenters acted like they'd known Papoose since kindergarten, diagnosing him with midlife crisis tendencies. The man didn't say a word, but the internet said 1,000 for him. In the court of public opinion, silence is always suspicious. The ripple effect hit Claressa Shields in an unexpected way. At first, fans defended her innocence. But the longer the rumor lingered, the stranger the reactions became. People began critiquing her training footage like it contained secret messages. They dissected her facial expressions as if she blinked in Morse code. And when she posted a simple focus on your goals quote, the internet acted like she delivered a world-shattering monologue. She wasn't just a boxer anymore. She was a central character in a scandal she didn't sign up for. As days passed, the storyline deepened. People began asking bigger questions. Was this just a rumor gone wild? Was there truth hidden somewhere? And most importantly, what would this mean for Remy and Papoose's marriage? The very idea of them separating sent fans into full panic mode. Some acted like their own parents were splitting up. Others prepared tributes celebrating their relationship like it was a fallen empire. The emotional whiplash was so dramatic that even Shakespeare would have asked the internet to calm down. Then came the alleged sighting. A friend claimed they saw Remy leaving a building looking upset. No photo, no proof, just vibes and imagination. Yet somehow this alleged sighting grew into a massive thread. People debated which building it could have been. Others added their own unverified sightings, claiming she walked fast, slow, angry, sad, confused, or calm. The contradictions were endless, but the momentum was unstoppable. The scandal began to feel less like a rumor and more like a cultural phenomenon. The bigger consequence wasn't the rumor itself. It was the shift in public loyalty. Some fans stood by Remy, saying she deserved privacy. Others shifted sympathy toward Claressa, insisting she was dragged unfairly. Meanwhile, the team drama spectators stayed perched in the back with popcorn emojis, living their best lives through chaos. Public opinion fractured into factions, each defending their chosen narrative like it was a religion. For Remy, the emotional storyline painted by the internet created a new layer of pressure. People expected her to cry. People expected her to clap back. People expected her to post something poetic. In the digital world, expectations are louder than truth. Her silence made people build entire stories out of thin air. When she finally posted a quote about protecting your energy, it didn't calm the storm, it fed it. Screenshots flew across platforms. People added their own interpretations like they were decoding an ancient prophecy. Claressa's fans responded with equal energy. They dragged anyone accusing her, defended her reputation, and reminded the world she's a champion who doesn't need a scandal to stay relevant. They posted training clips, achievements, and motivational edits. The internet turned Claressa into a symbol of strength navigating unnecessary drama. She became the face of resilience in a rumor hurricane she didn't ask for. But the plot thickened when a new rumor emerged that the proposal wasn't romantic at all. It was allegedly related to business. The theory spread quickly but lacked the spice needed to override the original narrative. Fans didn't want logic. They wanted fireworks. They wanted heartbreak. They wanted betrayal. A peaceful explanation would have killed the storyline's entertainment value. And the internet wasn't ready to clock out of the chaos that the scandal's consequences began hitting harder than anyone expected. Blogs started writing long articles about the fragility of celebrity relationships. Podcasts debated loyalty. Debate shows brought up the rumor like it was political news. Even sports commentators mentioned Claressa's name with a raised eyebrow, half joking but fully adding fuel to the fire. The scandal spilled into spaces it had no business being in, proving how rapidly viral narratives can infect every corner of digital culture. Eventually, the rumor became too big to ignore. People expected a statement, a real one, from someone, anyone, but as long as silence echoed, speculation thrived. This created a bizarre paradox. The more the internet begged for clarity, the more dramatic the story became. People started expecting a major reveal, a press conference, a public apology, maybe even a diss track. The anticipation grew so heavy it turned into its own form of entertainment. The biggest twist, however, wasn't a statement. It was the realization that the scandal had permanently reshaped public perception. Whether the proposal was real, fake, misunderstood, or entirely invented, the internet had adopted it as truth. The meme culture cemented it. The fan wars immortalized it. The reactions carved it into social media history. This wasn't just a rumor anymore, it became folklore. Remy's strength, Claressa's power, and Papoose's loyalty became the central components of a fictional narrative the internet decided to treat as documentary. It messed with reputations. It reshaped how fans viewed them. It created long-lasting narratives that would reappear every time someone mentioned their names. That's the digital era. Stories don't die. They reincarnate. As the dust settled slightly, one thing became painfully obvious. The internet wasn't ready for the next chapter to end. They wanted a sequel, a new angle, a fresh twist. And deep down, everyone knew something else was bound to happen. Because in the world of hip-hop, boxing, and viral storytelling, scandals don't fade. They reload. They regroup. They wait for the next headline to crack open. And when it does, the internet will be right there, refreshed, caffeinated, and ready to explode all over again. And if you made it all the way to the end of this emotional demolition derby, then congratulations! Your drama endurance level is officially elite. You survived rumors, heartbreak, memes, loyalty debates, boxing strength, rap royalty, and enough speculation to power a whole season of love and hip-hop. This wasn't just a story. This was a digital earthquake wrapped in glitter, gossip, and pure New York chaos. And trust me, this saga isn't clocking out anytime soon. Before you run to the comments to argue, predict, or drop your wildest theories, do yourself a favor and smash that like button like it owes you child support. Hit subscribe like you're slamming a championship belt on the table. And tap that notification bell like you're trying to wake the entire neighborhood. Because scandals here don't walk, they sprint, flip, body slam timelines, and show up without warning. Drop a comment below and tell me what you think really happened. Did Papoose cross a line? Was it business? Was it cap? Is Remy silently plotting her revenge arc? Did Claressa accidentally get dragged into a storm she didn't order? Your hottest takes keep this channel fueled like a gossip-powered rocket engine, and trust me, I read every unhinged paragraph you leave. And remember, around here, the drama never sleeps. The scandals don't rest. The plot twists don't take lunch breaks. Every day is another leak, another rumor, another digital meltdown waiting to unfold. So stick around, stay locked in, and brace yourself, because the next headline is already peeking around the corner like it wants attention. This is Scandal Spark, where every story burns brighter, every twist snaps harder, and every rumor becomes a cinematic universe. Stay ready. Stay ready.